President Ranil Wickremesinghe, speaking at the 2023 Sri Lanka Economic Summit, expressed optimism that the IMF board would conclude the first review of Sri Lanka's EFF program within the month of December.
I don't know whether what we've done can be called reform. If you look at the meaning of reform, which I had done, which I did a few weeks back, this is not reform. It's a restructuring and a radical restructuring. And there's no going back. Now we've got to realize this. What is taking place now is something that can't be turned back. We've got to work within this new policy frame. We have made significant progress in the efforts to restructure its debt in order to restore debt sustainability. The government, along with its financial legal advisors, have been engaged in good faith negotiations with all its creditors over the last several months. All creditor groups have been very cooperative and constructive in their engagement with us. With regard to the official creditors, Sri Lanka engaged in negotiations with the Official Creditor Committee and in parallel with China Exim Bank. Contrary to many expectations, Sri Lanka has been able to successfully navigate this process due to its transparency and good faith engagement. China Exim Bank was the first to provide Sri Lanka with agreement in principle on specific financial terms to restructure the country's debt. We expect the Official Creditors Committee to provide a similar agreement in principle very shortly. With this, we expect that the IMF board will be in a position to conclude the first review of Sri Lanka's EFF program within the month of December. We are mainly relying on a long-term extension of the debt. But what does this mean? The economic principles on which we will operate for the future is what has gone into these net negotiations. If we go away from it, then the creditors are entitled to act. So we are now fixed. We have to work within this frame, within this agreement. And next time, if we don't have this system, if we don't agree, we don't have a long-term agreement, the next government, someone will want to turn it back and give the goodies. We are all within this framework. It's a radical restructuring. For us, this is the last chance. Either we've got to take it or bust it. So this is for economic stabilization. That alone is not enough. After we stabilize the economy, what are we going to do? Are we going to again have a balance of payment deficit and unable to balance our budget? Then we will have this again within 10 years. I can give it to you in writing. If you go on like this, you will have another crisis within 10 years, maybe earlier. So we have to change. You will all have to be very competitive, either to compete with imports or to export. We are having free trade agreements, which means in the next 5 to 15 years, the tariffs will have to be adjusted and that will have to be downwards. That's where competition is going to come in.
Following his address, President Wickremesinghe participated in a panel discussion which included Montek Singh Ahluwalia, former Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission of India.